So today, the ban on TikTok has been upheld by a federal appellate court. So what does that mean for TikTok creators, and how do they come up with that decision, and what's been going on the back end of the legal end with all this? I can explain all that and let you know. So what happened was the um, federal appellate court in Washington, D.C., they came out and said that yes, this law banning TikTok is legal. So what TikTok was trying to do was they were saying that this is illegal. This violates our First Amendment rights. They're also saying, hey, this violates the takings clause in the Constitution. What that means is you can't take property from an individual without just compensation. So those were the things that they were raising in court. The big one was the First Amendment one. And what the court did on the First Amendment is they said that, hey, we think that the court said that, hey, we think that this is okay, that this is a legal reason why we can ban TikTok under the First Amendment. And that is a big deal because the First Amendment and violating the First Amendment, the government is at a huge disadvantage. The law is presumed to be illegal, and the government has to jump through all these hoops. They have to make a compelling reason on a narrowly tailored interest saying why they need to have this law. And most all the time, it gets struck down. But this time they said this passes the test, and they made the decision based off national security. But if you read the opinion, the appellate court kind of flip-flops and really doesn't give any specific national security concern, and a lot of them are just based off hunches. And there's concerns about how this will affect decisions down the road too, because now we have a hole in the First Amendment and an argument on, hey, the First Amendment can be violated in lieu of national security. But I mean, this is a very weak national security claim here without anything specific. I can see the arguments of the government, but my concern is, I mean, you can say anything is national security and can violate First Amendment rights. So this is a huge hit on the First Amendment. My other issue is that they only analyzed the rights of TikTok, the company. They did not analyze the rights of the content users, because content users, this is kind of like their channel, like Channel 5. People go, and there's a lot of people who have accounts where they report the news and stuff like that here on TikTok. And so it's like the government pulling the plug from them, and they didn't analyze on their First Amendment rights. And also they didn't analyze, because a lot of people make money on TikTok, they didn't analyze the takings clause. And if the taking clause violates TikTok content users' rights, and with the takings clause, they said, oh, well, we're just making them sell the company so they'll still make money, so it's not really a takings. But I really think that it was a weak decision, weak legal arguments. And I think what it really is judges believing in the cause of the ban, and so kind of scrambling around and finding a reason to go with the cause instead of really giving a good analysis under the law. So that's my issue with the ban as it stands right now, is there really wasn't a good analysis, concerns about how they came up with that analysis. So what's going to happen now is it's going to go up to the Supreme Court, but there's just not a lot of time for the Supreme Court to take this on before the ban comes into effect. So we'll have to see if the Supreme Court will agree to pause it until they listen to this, and that could be a possibility. So possibly the Supreme Court could issue an injunction, a temporary injunction on the ban until this can get briefed. It may have to be an expedited briefing. If not, or if the Supreme Court doesn't take it up, but I assume the Supreme Court will have to take it up because of all the issues that I mentioned with the opinion and other issues as well, not mentioned here. So I think they will have to take it